Okay, here we are. I'm slowing down. I just lit one of these incense matches. You've seen these everywhere before. This scent, Goddess of Egypt, of course, that's the one I have. It is so good. It smells amazing. So usually I like Palo Santo, but I think I'm going to do these for the Best You series. And I have been wanting to do this Best You series since, I think, for like 2.5 years. I even put the banner up on my YouTube channel that says, twice a week, best use, and then an interview-based long format podcast once a week. And I still haven't done it. Like, I thought putting that there would make me do it. Do you ever do that? Do you ever put something out there and then you think that's going to really make me do it? I've made it public. Now I have to. Well, you'd think I would have, but I didn't. I still didn't. And this is the first one I'm doing. And I'm kind of astonished with myself because it's not like I don't record podcasts all the freaking time. I do. Once a week goes by really fast. If you've ever tried to maintain something once a week. And instead, I had every excuse. Oh, my room wasn't ready. Oh, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. Oh, I wasn't prepped enough. But really, I think I was scared. I think there's fear right there. So this is addressing fear and fear of the unknown, fear of how you're going to be perceived, right? Like I would be like, I'm turning 53 this year, and I would look at myself sometimes, and that the way I appear is a part of my identity, whether I like it or not. And I would just be hard on myself. And I would say, oh no, I don't look good enough, or I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I just decided to do this unprepared today because clearly there is fear. So why do we let that fear hold us back? I think that sometimes I just get so scared of other people watching and what they're going to think. And I let that hold me back. But the sooner you do it, the sooner it's done. And the sooner you've got the first one under your belt. So whatever you're thinking of doing to move forward, I just want to invite you to go ahead and do it, or comment here. I will support you. I will be your biggest cheerleader. I understand that fear and how it can hold you back. And there's a lot of reasons that fear holds us back, like I mentioned, appearances and perception, but there's also, there's fear of judgment, right? Fear of failure. There's totally fear of failure. There's fear of the unknown, and along with that comes a fear of success, right? And a fear of doing something that's uncomfortable. Fear of it not being perfect, which it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Not for your first time. If you scroll all the way back to my first episode of the Amy Edwards Show on this channel, you'll see I did a whole episode on how things aren't perfect the first time out. That's just how it goes. You can prepare all day long and it's still not going to be as good as the 100th, right? It's just not. And so you got to start. And so this is a message. I want these to be something that motivates you. I want these to be loving and accepting yourself where you're at right now, which I am hugely into, unconditionally loving yourself, but also, there's movement forward. There's noticing it and not letting it rule you, not letting it hold you back. I really want to do more on YouTube, and I just don't even know why I haven't. The only thing I can think of is fear. That's literally it. Because I make excuse after excuse not to do these. I'll put out a podcast and I'll even watch them back. I am good at that. I'm fine with that. A lot of times there's that fear of watching yourself back and you're just like, ah. I think that years in radio, I had to listen back to my tapes. Sometimes air checks. They were called air checks and they were on cassette way back in the day when I started in radio. And you had to listen back to it. And oh my gosh, it was so painful sometimes. Sometimes I was so new at it when I was 21 or whatever I was. Sometimes I would forget to turn the mic on. I'd forget to pot up the mic. I'd be like, ah, and then you'd go back and listen and it was just painful sometimes. But that's part of starting. It's part of it. Go back and listen to yourself. Find ways to get better. I think there's a detachment that has to come with it, that you have to say, yeah, there's fear there and all that, but I am just going to, I'll just be over here and witness this and then work to make it better. I'll listen and give some tips and not take it too personally. I think that's where the detachment comes in. When you don't take it so personally, you're like, oh my God, this is me. Well, I mean, it's a slice of me, right? It's a tiny part of me. It's something I did. Not really me, right? It's something you did. Same as if you make a mistake, it's just something you did. It doesn't define you. Like if you did something that's not great, you wouldn't be like, I'm a bad person. Like it's that difference between saying I'm a bad person and saying I did something bad, or I did something I don't want to do again that I learned from. So anyway, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. But the point is, I want these to be short, inspirational bursts. And where are you holding back? Oh my God, that reminds me. I read this little thing. I shared it on my Instagram. I have an Instagram channel called Life Optimization at Any Age. And I shared this on there today. And it's, oops, he's got music. Let me mute that. 10 uncomfortable. This is from Die Without Regrets with 2 S's. Regrets. And it's 10 uncomfortable questions you must ask yourself if your biggest fear is not fulfilling your potential. So I think that there's fear, right, of doing it, and then letting your fear of not doing it be bigger. I love that, right? And it's painful either way, but the pain of not doing it becomes even bigger. So, and I think that's why I'm sitting here right now. I'm like, how long am I going to let this go on? How long am I going to not do the thing? So here's one of these questions. These questions are amazing. So go, if you want, I'm at Real Amy Edwards, and you can go there and go on my Life Optimization at Any Age, my little channel, and you can check it out there. Or you can go to Die Without Regrets. So if the next 1,000 days looked exactly like yesterday, would you be closer or further away from your dreams? That is deep right there. That makes you check yourself on fear-based non-action, right? If a stranger studied your routine, what would they assume your priorities are? That one really gets me. Like I want, if somebody from the outside was looking in at you, are they going to know what's important to you? If you say, oh, my YouTube channel is really important to me, or, oh, building this company is really important to me, but you literally don't work on it at all through the whole day, what does that say? And so I just got to step up and put in the hours. And so do you, whatever it is. Are you stepping up and putting it in? You probably are. I hope so. I hope so. Or let this motivate you. So he's got some other ones, and they're really good. But the other couple that I'm going to read you is, what's the number one thing you're procrastinating on that you know would change your life? Case in point right here, me. Will this change my life? Yeah, I'm going to get better at it, and I'm going to build something. And this is, I'm seeing growth here, right? If you just are subscribing recently, thank you so much. It means so much to me. And I'm finally monetizing it and all of that. So that's super exciting. Have you been consistent enough to deserve the results you want? Like, I couldn't answer that with a yes. So here I am. They love to say, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? That's a really good one, right? If you knew you couldn't fail. So, which you don't fail. Failure is a myth anyway. There is no fail, right? You just do, or you learn. That's it. And this is my favorite one, I think. I don't know. I think this might be my favorite one. If someone else had all your daily habits, would you bet on them to succeed? That's intense, right? Like, I have some goals that sometimes I know that I'm slacking on. I'm just like, I'll eat chips, right? And not go to the gym. And that's not who I want to be. I want to be like the fittest bitch in my 50s that I can be. I love chips. Okay. I love chips. I'm just trying to eat the ones in avocado oil these days, but That's another story. For another day. We'll put that aside. So, excuse me, I've had a cough. So there we are. I just want to offer this to you. Where can you take action? And even if it's late action, it doesn't matter. Take some action, because then you've done it. And it's only going to get easier. The next time is easier. I promise. I promise. I mean, I'm going to record another one of these. I hope it's easier. So anyway, just what's holding you back? It's some kind of fear. Let's get detached from it and let's move forward. You keep shining bright, you badass.